All right, so what is good, y'all? Welcome into another live stream, another pregame live stream for the Blacktop. Back from vacation. Got a lot to dive into for this live stream. I'm gonna wait till, as always, wait for a couple more people. I see, somebody's in here already. Drop something in the chat, say what's up, say hello, do what you do. Wait on a couple more people. Give it a couple minutes here. Got the Philly and Pelicans game playing in the background here. Probably gonna stream for about an hour, depending on how many people and everything we get in here. I know the game's on at 10. No recap tonight. Obviously, I've mentioned that in my last two videos. So no recap for the game tonight or on this West Coast road trip. So I'm trying to stream a little bit more before the games. So we got a couple people in here. Drop a what's up in the chat. Drop anything in the chat. Questions, anything like that. Not trading Trey Young, build around DeJounte's. Khalil, bro, you already know how I feel, man. I hope you peep my long rant video, my 18-minute long rant video. If I haven't had a chance to check that out, go make sure you tap into that. It was just pretty much just a long rant video of how this season has gone so far and what is going on. It was yeah, appreciate it, bro. So we got Golden State tonight, and this is gonna be a game where I don't know if we can win this game tonight, man. And the reason why I say that is because Golden State, even though they've struggled this season, they have the best home record in basketball. They're 16-2 at home. Think we get to the other night. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I don't think we win tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I think our losing streak continues. Golden State is just they're such a good team at home. Again, 16-2 at home, the best home record in the NBA. Primarily, all their losses are on the road. They're like the worst road record, worst road team in the NBA, but the best home record in the NBA. So, Golden State's gonna be tough, man. But no Curry, no Wiggins, no Kaminga. They got some guys out, no Wiseman. I haven't seen word if I haven't seen word of DeAndre Hunter's playing. I know Clint Capella's out, but I haven't seen any word of DeAndre Hunter's playing or not. I know those are the two injuries on the injury report. So if y'all know if Dre is playing tonight, let me know. I haven't heard anything yet. Hmm. Well, we got a lot of work to do, man. His team, like I said, if y'all peep my rant video that I dropped earlier, we're in a bad spot. Now on the bright side, we are only about 2.5 games out of the sixth seed. Indiana's the sixth seed right now. We are only 2.5 games out of the sixth seed. So that is the one bright spot. That the Eastern Conference right now is so tight. Outside of like the top 3, 4 seeds, from like 5 to 10, it's so tight. I mean, we really could get. We win 4 or 5 games in a row. We're right back in it. But it's can we do that with the style of play and everything and the way we've been playing recently? 3 games losing streak. Now we're going on this West Coast road trip. Can we string together these wins? It's gonna be tough, man. If Dre play, yeah, I think if Dre plays tonight, we win. If Dre does not play, we lose. It's just that simple. I mentioned in my video earlier, we are 1-9 when DeAndre Hunter is out of the lineup. 1-9 without Dre. He's so valuable to this team with his defenses, with his defense and his three making ability, his mid range and all that. He's so valuable to this team. We need Dre in the lineup tonight if we're gonna win. If he's not in the lineup, I can't see us coming out with the dub. I really can't. But we're missing some. Yeah, I agree, bro. I never liked the Cam trade. I really do miss Cam. I just think he really wasn't. I don't think he was used enough. I mean, he has so many bright moments and so many bright spots. I think the organization gave up on him too quickly. Now, granted, I know Cam wanted out because of the role, which I get that, but like you drafted a guy number 10 and he was in the doghouse for a lot of time he was here. I miss a guy like Cam, man. I hope he finds a good home soon to where he can get consistent minutes somewhere because I love Cam. Yeah, AJ is not a good defender. That's the thing about AJ right now. He's AJ is not. He's just his defense needs a lot of work. He's got the offensive bag. He's so talented offensively with not even just his three ball, with just what he has in his arsenal. but his defense is just not there, and that's where really where Atlanta's been missing Dre. Because if you look at the last couple games, we've had just leaving with shooters wide open, guys going crazy. Braun goes and gets 47, and I was talking to my homeboy who's a Lakers fan the other day, Lakers fan, the biggest Braun fan I know, and I said to him, "Listen, bro, if Dre plays against the Lakers, Braun doesn't get 47. Yeah, he may get 35, but Braun's not getting 47. In no way, shape, or form is DeAndre Hunter going to shut down LeBron James. I'm not saying that, but he's not going to go out and get 47. Yeah, he may get 35, but I think we come out with the win if Dre plays, and that's his value to this team. And I think it's so crazy that there's still people out there saying that DeAndre Hunter is worthless. That still bothers the hell out of me, and I said that in my video. Yeah, I think the problem is we don't have any other wing defenders, Khalil. Like you said, like when Dre's not playing, who do we have guard ball? Who do we have that can guard perimeter? There's nobody that really we have on this roster that is an elite defender or even an above average defender outside DeJounte. And DeJounte really gets his defense off of getting into passing lanes and getting those pickpocket steals. He's not like a lockdown, force you into an unreal tough shot like Dre is. I mean, we've seen what Dre can do. We've seen him on DeMar DeRozan. We've seen him on Jason Tatum. And to this day, he has still forced Jason Tatum, and I think his worst game so far this season. So outside of Dre, we need another wing defender, and we don't have that. And I think that's going to be kind of an ongoing problem with this team if Dre is out of the lineup, which I'm praying he gets healthy. But on the bright side, Dre hasn't had those long term injuries, just those kind of ticky tack injuries where it's like an ankle injury or just something simple like that. You know he'll get back in the lineup though. Yeah, Trey definitely obviously needs to step up. I mean, that's the kind of been the story of the season is Trey's play. The coaching and Trey's play has literally been the story of the season. So you're right, Wilman. Trey, I think for us to get a game tonight, it's got to start with Trey, and he's got to be a better leader, and he's got to take smarter shots tonight because Golden State is no team to mess around with at home. They got the firepower. They have defenders. Clay is still a decent, an above average defender. So they have the guys, and it starts tonight. If we're going to string together some wins and get back on track, it starts tonight. Hit the reset. We got a couple days off from the Lakers win, or I'm sorry, Lakers loss. A couple days off. From that. It's a new year. Let's start over. We still got a long season. Let's see what we can do, and it starts tonight. Hopefully we can. Trey will have a big game. I'm hoping he can get like maybe a 35-point game, 30-point game. No, it don't even need to be that, bro. Just win the fucking game. I'm asking, bro, just win the game. That's all I care about. I don't even care who plays well and who doesn't play well. I just want to get a win. I'm so fucking tired of watching this team lose. What else y'all got, man? Anything else? Anything else? Again, if y'all haven't had a chance to check out my video, go check out that. I went on almost a 20-minute rant of this season. I'm probably going to do another one of those, not related to the Hawks. I'm going to be dropping a lot more content this week and next week for just more general NBA content, covering other teams and everything because I'm not going to be doing any recaps for like the next week or so for the Hawks because of this West Game road trip. Every game's going to be like a 10:30 game, and I've said it 1,000 times. Like I said, man, I'm not going to be doing a recap at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning when I work a 9 to 5. I'm not doing that. So no recaps for the next week or so while we're on this road trip. So those will resume once we get back home or once we have them earlier games. But so I'm going to be doing some other videos in the meantime. I think I'm going to drop a video about the Timberwolves within the next couple days and about their struggles and with the Rudy Gobert trade and all that. So y'all keep a lookout for that as well. Is the lag crazy? It might be my Wi-Fi, man. My Wi-Fi is kind of ass, so it might be my Wi-Fi. Yeah, Jalen Johnson definitely needs to get his confidence back, but he needs his other guys to lift him up. I said, okay. I mean, he got no lag over there, so Khalil might be your Wi-Fi then. It might be your Wi-Fi. I don't know. I mean, my Wi-Fi is usually pretty bad, but I mean, if nobody else is lagging, let me know if you're lagging. And I'll see if I can do something. Oh, you good? All right. Never mind. All right, yeah, bet. Yeah, I think JJ needs to get his confidence back, man. I think he has shown flashes and shown, his potential that he can be a solid role player, but I just haven't seen enough for me to be sold on him. He looked decent against the Lakers. I just really wish he'd get his ass inside the paint and stop fucking shooting threes. Because man, that shit is annoying when you are not a three shooter. Oh, but we got a tough game tonight, man. No Curry, but I think the Warriors still have enough firepower. And I didn't even get a chance to see the road trip. I know we got Sacramento. We play the Clippers and the Lakers, I think, in back to back. I don't know if it's back to back game. Well, back to back games. I don't know if it's back to back nights, but I don't know if it's back to back games. Why did we draft you? That's a good ass question, man. He said he was a steal because he fell to like 20, but I wasn't sold on him in college. He's just an athletic guy. He's one of those guys that's just extremely athletic, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything good. He doesn't really do anything like extremely well. And I don't know. He doesn't really have any like quote unquote strengths. Like he's a decent ball handler at his size, but other than that, man, Jalen Johnson really hasn't shown me much, and he hasn't really. I don't know. Again, he's had his moments, but he just hasn't. He hasn't been it for me. He hasn't been it for me. What we're sold for defense. Our defense is dog shit, bro. I don't even understand how the defense is so bad. I mean, I know when you're missing DeAndre Hunter and Clint Capella, it's obviously your two best, defenders. So that obviously is affected by how bad our defense is. But even still, man, guys just don't rotate. They don't close out, and guys just get left wide open, falling for pump fakes. The paint defense is absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And I think we're just yeah, Khalil, I was just about to say that. I think we don't have enough size. The size on the Hawks is just it's just not we're not big enough, pause. But we just don't have enough length and enough big bodies. Like a Kong was listed at like 6'8" or 6'9". JC's listed at 6'9". Clint Capela's listed at 6'10". We don't have any big bodies to guard those bigger centers to keep guys off of the glass. Bro, the fucking Lakers had like 70 points in the paint against the Hawks the other night. 70 points in the paint. That is unheard of. And you're not going to win games like that, man. You're just not. I mean, a dude like Thomas Bryant was having his fucking way in the paint because Atlanta they couldn't defend the paint without Clint Capella. I like a Kongu, but he's not the answer either. I think that they need to make. I mean, Landry Fields really needs to look at this roster at the deadline and look at guys outside of JC, like guys like Capella and Double O and Jalen Johnson, and I think he needs to look into moving them as opposed to JC. Same production from everyone, no matter who. Yeah, I mean that's a fact. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say. But why does the Big O foul so much? Yeah, he does foul a lot, bro. I noticed that, man. He gets called for more illegal screens, I think, than anybody I've ever watched. He gets called for at least like one or two illegal screens every game, and he does foul like he fouls so much. And the problem is when Clint Capella's out, if he gets into foul trouble, we have no bigs. We have no other guys that can play the five because Kaminsky is not a five. He is more of a stretch four guy. He can't rebound. He can't defend. And I just until we make a move at center, I just don't know how much we're going to be able to compete, man, because we give up too many offensive rebounds, we give up too many points in the paint, and we can't close out on guys. I don't know, man. I'm so frustrated, and I haven't even watched the game since what Friday. What was it? New Year's Eve. Well, Happy New Year to y'all. By the way, hope y'all had a great New Year's as well, and a great Christmas. I mentioned that before. Is it the city we in? Like, what do people come to Atlanta? Hey, I think Atlanta's still cursed, man. I thought the Braves broke the curse when they won the World Series. What last year or no, the year before? But apparently Atlanta's still cursed or always hurt. Yeah, we're definitely always hurt. That's a fucking fact. We can never shake the injury bug, and I just don't get it. Almost guaranteed the opposing team pull off some hurt. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. I've said that numerous times. It seems like every single time we play somebody, there's always one super random role player that just like goes off and gets buckets. Like that's either on fire from three or just going crazy and getting whatever they want. It seems like that's all the fucking time that we see that dude's just the most random role player that you'll think of that just gets buckets and just goes crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's so this guy's just gonna go crazy against us. Okay, that's fine. I just it's annoying. But I do see your point, Funk, on that. That I definitely see that a lot of time. Need to blow up the roster if they continue to play like crap. That may include trade. That was bad. I don't think they're ever going to get to a point where they're going to blow the roster up after, just because of one season with the Dejounte trade not working. It is still we are still kind of in that experimental stage, which I'm not going to make excuses, and I'm not going to be the one where listen, man, I'm not going to be the one where say, "Oh, let's stay patient. Let's be patient, guys. We still have a whole second half." No, I'm not going to be that guy. We got to figure it out. And we've had enough games to where if Trey and Dejounte can't figure out how to play with each other or get other guys involved, then Dejounte's probably going to be the expendable piece because Atlanta's invested too much into Trey Young for them to be just move on to him to where like, oh, okay, we're going to trade Trey Young. Think about this. Let's think about this for a second. Just imagine if we traded Trey Young after trading Luca for Trey, you know what kind of negative publicity and everything and negative connotations and everything that we this organization will get. They will be just a laughing stock of the NBA if we end up trading Trey after we traded Luca for Trey. That would be absolutely asinine, and there's no way this team would no would do that. I can't see that. You have to think about how much they invested when we got Trey with trading Luca. It just, I mean, it's just that simple, man. I mean, uh, I know damn well that there is guys in the organization that are saying yeah, we fumbled the bag. We fumbled the bag with that trade. We should have had Luca. We didn't. We traded for Trey. It is what it is. We'll never have Luca, But yeah, the backlash will be crazy on that, man. It really will be. Let me see if I missed any other things. No, Khalil, I'm not saying we're gonna trade Dejounte, bro, but you have to keep in mind his contract. He has 1 year left after this season. So after next season, he's a free agent. So what does that look like? If we don't get it together, if we don't make another deep playoff run, whether this year or next year, there's no. I can't see a world where Dejounte would want to stay if the team's not working together and they're not making deep playoff runs. Why the hell would he want to stay? He would be an unrestricted. Yeah, he can get the bag. I mean, he wants to chase the money, but I don't know. I don't think a lot of guys would even come to Atlanta if we traded Trey. The thing is, man, it's like what would a trade package look like hypothetically if they say, okay, we've had enough to trade, what would a trade package even look like? You're losing. You're losing either way unless you're getting another superstar caliber player, and no team is gonna give up a superstar to get a superstar. It just doesn't work like that. The only time you see guys get moved like that are of the caliber of a Trey Young is if a team is going into a rebuild like the Rockets did with James Harden. There's no way that Atlanta moves on from Trey just to go into another rebuild. It doesn't make sense. It will never happen. I think it's crazy that some people keep talking about Trey getting traded. I think it's ridiculous. But I mean, everybody has their own opinion. Trey's body language has been very suspect. Get out of here. Okay, Trey's body language has been very suspect. I've seen it firsthand with the Nick. Yeah, I kind of said that in my last video. I touched on he looks disinterested, and I think that Trey is like mentally checked out. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if that's because of Nate. I really think that it is Nate, man. I really do. I really truly believe that if we fire Nate, this team's going to go on a run. I do, and y'all can disagree or y'all can call me crazy, say it's not Nate or whatever it is, but I think if we fire Nate, we're going to go on a run. I don't know if it's going to happen because it seems like the organization has committed to Nate, and I just don't understand it. Think DeJounte's resigning. I don't know, bro. It's tough. It's too early to say. It depends on how. I think it depends on how deep we can go into the playoffs, and all that. I don't know if he's going to resign if we can't make a consistent if we can't win consistent games and make a deep playoff run. I just don't can't see him resigning. Um, we're going into a rebuild after 5 years with no ring. Listen, man, if it doesn't work out over the next couple of years to where they can build a contending roster, I think it's at that point Trey will one out. And I think at that point you do hit the rebuild. You do hit the reset button at that point. Because if then over the next 3, 4 years, if you can't build a contending team around Trey, I think it is time to just hit the reset button. Trey's not going to want to keep losing, and that's what it's been. Even though he said he wants to win in Atlanta, nobody likes losing unless you're Bradley Beal. Would you trade John Collins? He's been on the trade block for like 3 years. Jacoby, I personally would not trade John Collins. I love JC. I've mentioned this in the past. I've been a big supporter of JC in the past, and I still am. I think that when he gets enough touches, and I think when he is in the right system and in the when he fits right, he's a 20 and 10 guy. If y'all remember, man, back before we got Clint Capella, JC was a 20 and 10 guy. And then once we got Clint Capella, they kind of shifted their roles, and then JC took the back seat in terms of the pick and rolls and all that. JC was the primary pick and roll guy before we got Clint Capella, and now it's CC. So I think if you go back to that and you get more of a primary, somebody actually commented this on the video. I can't remember who it was. Forgive me for that. Getting a primary rim protector instead, like Clinton Bell's not a bad rim protector, but he's not elite. I mean, I'm talking about a guy like a Mitchell Robinson type player where they don't need to be in a pick and roll. Their job is to strictly get rebounds and get and play defense. That's it. And then you put John Collins into the pick and roll to where he can get 15 shots a game, 12 to 15 shots a game like that, where he's not constantly on the outside of the arc shooting threes. I think that's where JC will flourish. So if he's in that type of system and being utilized that way, I think he could be a great fit with Trey, with DeJounte, and with the other guys that we have. It's just it all starts with the coach. You can't put that system in place if you don't have the right coach, and it's what it is. Let me see. They all need to learn how to box out and rebound. Yeah, that's a damn fact, man. The rebounding's been dog shit the entire season. They give up so many offensive rebounds, and that's part of the reason why they're struggling is because they lose so many games on the glass and give up so many buckets in the paint, and it's just never gonna win you games. If Trey leave, the rebuild starts unless we have DeJounte. To an extent, it just depends on what they would get back for Trey. Like I said, there's no way that you get back an all-star, superstar caliber player with trading Trey, so it just doesn't make sense. Need a new coach. Yeah, Wes, I agree. I've alluded to that many times. Nate's got to go. I feel like this year is going to be like it was 2 years ago. Um, you mean 2 years ago? You mean 2 years ago in terms of the Eastern Conference Finals run? Because I don't know. It's tough to say. Now, granted, we were struggling. At that point too, we were 6 games under 500 before Nate took over. But it's tough to see if that's going to happen again this year, man. Because with the injuries and when you have your superstar player who does not like the coach, it's just that's bad. It's just bad chemistry. It's bad for the locker room, and I just don't see it getting any better unless they get rid of Nate. Y'all drop a like on the video, man. Let's see if we can get these likes up. We only got one like on the video. We got 19 people in the stream right now. Y'all drop the like on the video and take a look at the last video as well if you haven't had a chance, and subscribe if you are new. Let me see. We fired Lloyd and made that miracle run that no one expected. Yeah, bro. I think that was kind of based off of I think we got a lot of luck in that series and that playoff run, man. I'm gonna be honest. I've alluded to that in the past, Khalil. I don't know. I think that was a lot of luck with that playoff run. We weren't supposed to be there. Bill or Dame, yeah. Talk about the guys that love losing. I love Dame. Dame's my guy. George Punch would be interim coach if Nate decides to resign in the middle of the season. They're not going to bring a new. Yeah, I agree. I've said that, Dewey. I said that in multiple streams, in multiple videos. You never hire mid-season. It just doesn't work like that. You always promote an assistant coach to the interim head coach, and then you address it in the offseason. You don't hire midseason. That's why, guys like Mark Jackson and Ima Adoka would be nice, but it won't happen until next season if it does happen. Joe Prunty more than likely will be the guy to take over for the team if Nate McMillan either steps down or gets fired. I've said that in the past. I know Trey love ATL, but the fans love him as well. I don't know, man. Jacoby, some fans are turning on him, man. And I don't want people to think, based off my last video, that I'm turning on Trey. I'm by no means turning on Trey. I will never support a Trey trade. I just think that he needs to be better. I think he needs to clean up his shooting, his shot selection. I think he needs to be a better leader. I mean, I can be critical of him without turning on him. So I'm not turning on him, but I know a lot of fans are, which is crazy. Nobody liked Lloyd. Yeah, nobody liked Lloyd Pierce, man, because he was terrible. He was a terrible coach. He was a terrible hire. I don't understand why they would even hire Lloyd Pierce when he had no coaching experience. He was a horrible development coach, and I mean, he's worse than Nate McMillan. But that's as crazy as that is to say. Do you think they will be fired after the All Star break? I think it depends, man. I think it depends on the record. It's tough to say. It's tough to say if Nate will even get fired at all. We want him fired as fans. A lot of us fans want him fired, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be reality because the front office has multiple times came out and said that they are committed to Nate McMillan, which I don't get. It's very questionable. It kind of questions your desire and your will to win. If you have a coach who can't figure it out with the star players that you have, if you can't figure out what's going wrong and what the hell to do to win ball games, I don't understand how a organization can keep a coach like that. So it's tough to see if he'll be fired after the All Star break. I think it all depends. It's going to depend on the record. Hey, what's up, my word? Appreciate you, man. Happy New Year to you as well. Do you think we'll ever have a healthy team for a sustainable period? Man, that's tough to say. Listen, man. We had a healthy team for one game. One game. Unbelievable. And then by next game, we're all back in, back injury, and it's very frustrating to watch, man. Hopefully, I really do at some point hope we can get guys back. As of right now, it's only Dre and CC out. So, I mean, we are right there with getting healthy. But here's the thing, man. Y'all got to keep in mind, we're not losing games because we're not healthy. That we have this Hawks team still has enough talent on the roster to win ball games. There's still enough talent on the roster to beat the Lakers. There's still enough talent on the roster to beat the Pacers. You have two all-star players and one of them being an all-NBA player. If you can't win ball games with that, then what the hell are you doing? It's not because of the injuries while we're losing games. It's because of the selfishness and the lack of team basketball and the lack of coaching why we're losing games. That's why we're losing. Would be happy if we build around Donchev. Khalil, no, I wouldn't be happy with that because I don't want them to trade Trey. I'm not a trade guy if that makes any sense. So no, I don't think you build around I don't think you build around DeJounte. I mean, I think if you trade, I think if you get to a point where you're trading Trey, you have to hit the reset button and you just have to blow it up entirely. That you don't really have a building block at that point, depending on what you get in return. If Trey left in free agency, oh, okay. Um, if Trey left in free agency, I'd say yeah, maybe build around DeJounte, but I don't know, man. That's tough to say because Trey just signed a 5 year deal, man. He's got 5 years minimum, so I'm not going to touch on that too much more. Um, Lloyd was horrible. Yeah, he was. 21-21 run was remember lucky. Yeah, I agree. The 2021, man, that run was, man, that was probably my highest as a Hawks fan, man. I just remember watching game 7 and watching, the comebacks and everything and watching game 1 against Milwaukee, man. I really thought we were going to go to the finals that year, man. And I really thought that we had a legitimate shot to win the championship. And that was probably my highest point as a Hawks fan, man. I absolutely was loving it. I loved the first round. The Philly series was tough, but it was such a memorable playoff run, man. And that was when Trey really made a name for himself and really put guys on notice. But Then he followed it up with a dog shit performance against the Heat last year. I don't want to talk about that though. Felix Hughes all be fair. Yeah, I agree, man. It was dope. Felix should have kept Herter. Yeah, and a lot of people have said that. I've alluded to I've alluded to Herter in the past. Here's the thing with keeping Kevin Herter. Number one, wrestler didn't want to go into the luxury tax. That was number one why they traded him. Number two, hypothetically, let's say we keep Kevin Herter. It's too many wing players that you have in the rotation with AJ Griffin, Bogey, and Herter all playing the same position. And I just don't really know how that works with Dre, Bogey, AJ Griffin, and Herter all playing the 2 and the 3. Well, Dre's more of a 3 and 4, but you get what I'm saying. I just don't know how that fits and where Kevin Herter would fit in if he was still on the team. I think if he's on this team, we're not getting the Kevin Herter that's in Sacramento. We're getting the Kevin Herter that was in round one of Miami. That's the Kevin Herter that Atlanta got. Kevin Herter has had multiple opportunities to prove that he can be the guy next to Trey, that he can be that shooter and everything. The reason why he's playing well in Sacramento is because he can play free. There's no expectations in Sacramento. There's no superstar player in Sacramento. Yeah, they got De'Aaron Fox, they got Sabonis, but they're not the star caliber player that Trey is. So they don't have the expectations that Atlanta does. And Kevin Herter was not that guy next to Trey. It's just that simple. I don't even know how else to put it. Oh, let me see. I got a couple comments I gotta catch up on here. Is Hunter playing tonight? I don't know. I haven't seen any update on DeAndre Hunter. I know he's listed as questionable, but I haven't seen if he's a go. I really hope he is, because if not, we're in trouble. We are in trouble if Dre's not playing tonight. 1-9 without Dre. Y'all keep that in mind. 1-9 without Dre in the lineup. I mean, I think the Hawks need to strengthen the front court. I would trade John Collins, Bogey, and Holiday for Buddy Hield, Miles Turner, and TJ McConnell. That trade does make a lot of sense. I actually don't mind that trade, because you get a lethal shooter in Buddy Hield who can create his own shot. You get an excellent rim protector and stretch big in Miles Turner, and then you get a defensive minded point guard off the bench who can kind of make a little bit, play defense, and can shoot a little bit. I have always said Miles Turner would be the perfect fit for the center of the Hawks, but I don't see that happening because I don't think they want to move on from Clint Capella. And if you get Miles Turner, you have to trade Clint, and you have to get a 4 in return, because I don't view Miles Turner as a 4. He can play both, but he is more of a 5 to me because he is such a great rim protector. But I don't know if they move on from Miles Turner at this point. I mean, I feel like it would have happened by now. And with the level of play that the Pacers are playing at, I mean, they're playing at a high level. I mean, they're sitting at number 6 in the Eastern Conference. The Pacers are playing good basketball. So there's really no sense for them to make a trade when it's working. What they have right now is working. I mean, yeah, they're probably not going to be a first round, a second round team or anything like that. They'll probably lose in the first round, but it's got to feel good for the Pacers fans and for the Pacers organization to be. You traded traded for Tyrese Halliburton. You got an all-star caliber player, and Sabonis was the all-star there. You traded him for Tyrese Halliburton, and you really got better. So I think the Pacers are in a good move, a good position right now. I don't think they trade either of them guys. I feel like that 2020 was a big coming out party for young stars and agree. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I feel like we need to make a trade. Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna definitely make a trade. It just depends on who. It depends on who the front office wants to move on from. I think there's a lot of guys out there that we can move on from. Real quick, I'm gonna. We got about 25 minutes left. I might go a little bit longer than 9 o'clock, depending on how many people we still got here and everything like that. We'll see. I know the game's not until 10. I'm probably not gonna watch the whole game, to be honest with you, because I gotta go back to work tomorrow after my vacation and everything. So I'm back at work tomorrow, unfortunately. So I probably won't be up till 1 o'clock in the morning watching this game tonight. So I'll probably have to check the game, the box score and the recap after tomorrow. So y'all drop a like on the stream as well. Again, subscribe if you are new. I know everybody pretty much in here is already subscribed, and that's great. So I appreciate y'all supporting everything. Let me see the reason Herder is doing so because of yeah, dude. I agree with that as well. The offensive system that they have in Sacramento as well because they don't have ball dominant guys that are just isolation. Darren Fox, I think he's averaging like around 8 assists, but he's not like a guy to shoot 25, 30 times a game and just jack up threes like Trey does. Unfortunately, they have a good offensive system in place, and Sabonis is a playmaking big man. They got a lot of playmakers on that team, and I think that's what we're seeing. Why him flourish in Sacramento as well. I do agree with that. Do we have a good chance to win tonight? I don't know, man. I think it's all going to depend on if Dre plays. If Dre don't play, I just don't see us winning. Shut down Pool and we're good. Maybe. Shut down Pool, yeah, because I don't really have any other scores outside of. I mean, if Clay goes crazy tonight, which I wouldn't be surprised because that's what Atlanta does. Pacers on the straight and letting Turner go the. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about, or what I was just talking about. Or should adding Collins with Turner. Yeah, I think if they got John Collins to add with Miles Turner, I think that would be a good pickup for them. I just don't know what we would get in return for that, so I don't know how much that would make sense. What do you think about these JC rumors? I don't really have an opinion on him to be honest with you. He's been in trade rumors for the past 3 years now. I just don't think I just don't think it's a good move for Atlanta to move on from JC. I like I like how he fits. It's just he has to be utilized properly. I've said that numerous times that I think JC should stay with the team and I know JC wants to be in Atlanta, but at this point, I think if you are going to trade him, just fucking do it. Even if you have to take a loss on a trade, just do it. Just so he can flourish somewhere else to where we're not holding him back because right now Atlanta is holding John Collins back. That is a fact. DeJounte is underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I don't think DeJounte is underrated. I think he's properly rated. He's a solid defensive player. But he's not a great shooter. He's a good playmaker. Does a little bit of everything, but I don't think he's underrated. I think it won't happen because the Pacers wanted John Collins. I think Larry Fields will put. See, the thing is, if they do that and they get Buddy Hield back in that trade, and um if you move Dre to the four, that's a small lineup. I know people have said Dre's only like an inch smaller than John Collins, but he's a little bit too soft to play down low. Like I love Dre, but he needs to add a little bit more muscle to be a pure four. I know like it isn't it's a positionless league and teams play small ball all the time, but he's not like a Draymond. He don't have the body that Draymond has. He still lacks a lot of muscle, so I don't. That's just a small lineup. They'll get killed. They'll just get killed in the paint. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's players go crazy. That's a fact, man. That is a fact. I believe this franchise is building around Trey. Yeah, of course. I mean, Jacoby, they're definitely building around Trey. I mean, again, y'all keep in mind we traded Luca for Trey. So how would that look if we traded Trey? I just y'all you gotta look at how that would look, man. That would be a disaster. And Dre's the thank you and thank you for saying that. Dre is the most underrated player on this team. He does not get enough appreciation. He does not get enough recognition. I love DeAndre Hunter. I've said it over and over and over, and I'm going to keep saying it, man. I'm the biggest DeAndre Hunter supporter on this fucking planet. I legitimately probably am the biggest DeAndre Hunter supporter out of every Hawks fan. I love when they drafted him. I love what he's brought to the table. Yeah, he was a number 4 overall pick, and he hasn't turned into Kawhi Leonard. But it doesn't always happen, man. He's only 24 years old. Not everybody turns into a star right out the gate. And we don't need him to be a star. We just need him to be a very solid role player who plays defense and knocks down shots and can score, 15, 18 points a game a night. And that's what Dre does. He's had a career year scoring, and he's playing defense. Like I don't understand what more people need to see out of DeAndre Hunter to know he's like what he brings to the table. It's kind of wild to me. As a who would be that guy that lights us up tonight? Let's see. Is Moses Moody playing? Hey, if Moses Moody's playing, he's the guy that goes off tonight. I'm calling it now. It'll be him or Ty Jerome. It'll be him or Ty Jerome. Those are the two games I'm paying close attention to tonight. That'll be the random two dudes that just go crazy tonight. Do you like Double O mostly playing a center or both the 4 and the 5? He's only 6'8". Listen, um, I hate Double O at the 5. I really do. Um, he's too small. He's too small and he's too soft. He doesn't have enough muscle. He doesn't play like a center. He's a good offensive rebounder, but he's not a great defensive rebounder. And he can stretch the floor a little bit in terms of the mid range, but I don't see him going to a pure four unless he extends his range to the 3 point line. And he can't handle the ball. So he's in the mix between a 4 and a 5, but he's too small to be a pure 5, which I hate because we really fumbled the bag with that draft pick as well. You know, there's a lot of other guys on the board. You know, we drafted him over Tyrese Halliburton, and I like Double O, but I just don't know if he's the guy that we expected him to be. And it's still early; he's still young, but y'all get what I'm saying. Even if Trey leaves, it's forever Atlanta with me. Yeah, I mean, I'm a diehard Hawks fan no matter what, bro, regardless of who's here. I mean, I've been riding with us before Trey, bro. I've been fucking authentic Dennis Schroeder jersey hanging in my closet. I don't know if y'all know that. I have an authentic Dennis Schroeder jersey I paid $250 for hanging in my closet because I was a big Dennis Schroeder fan. Don't tell anybody that though. I'm not proud of that. Let me see if Trey leave, then we see Mad Hawks fans leave until yeah, probably because most Hawks fans are I'm not going to say most. A lot of Hawks fans are fair weather bandwagon fans, and I'm not saying anybody in particular. So before anybody says, oh, you know, no, I'm not saying anybody in particular. I just know some from what I've seen on Twitter and from what I've seen at the game, and just multiple things. You know, when you look at when Atlanta's losing and when they're a bad team, the fan base isn't as high. So, you know, and it is what it is. I could care less. I'm a diehard Hawks fan regardless. Moody and Jerome playing. Yeah, I kind of figured that. I think Dre got to be the second best player on the team. I think Dre can be the second best player on the team if he's given him the right opportunity. I think Dre needs to a couple things that Dre needs to develop for him to be that second best player. He's got to improve his ball handling, he's got to improve his playmaking, and he's got to improve his rebounding. Those three things, if Dre improves, he will be an elite player because he already has one of the best mid-range jumpers in basketball. He's great in catch and shoot. He can create his own shot. He can get to the rim, and he's an excellent defender. So Dre has the tools to be that next level player, but he just got to take that next step. Double O at the starting four. Only I see his backup center. Hold on, I missed a comment. Oh, Hunter's. Hold on, I missed a couple. Shit, I missed a couple comments. Scrolling too fast. Hold up. Random guys facts. The Hawks need to make some moves because if the Hawks have bad road trip, they will probably be gone. I don't think what's to do. Yeah, I think if Atlanta goes on a bad road trip, I think if we don't come out of this road trip at least 500, I think it's safe to say that Nate may be on his way out. You know, if you're 4 or 5 games under 500, I just can't see a reason to keep him. What the hell? What would you be holding on to if you keep Native for 4 games under 500, 4 or 5 games under 500 after this road trip? I don't see that, you know, being a likely scenario if them keeping him. Dre's playing 100%. Oh, okay. So Dre is playing tonight. Thank goodness, man. So maybe I'll watch the whole game then. Maybe I'll stay up late. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't want to stay up till 12:30 watching this game, man. I think maybe it'll depend on how close the game is. If we're in a tight battle, I might stay up for it, man. I don't know. We'll see. Double with the starting four. I don't like that. I don't like double with the starting four because he can't. He doesn't bring enough offense to be the starting four. I mean, you lose too much. You lose too much floor spacing with him as the starting four. So until he develops a consistent jump shot, his mid range is solid, but until he can stretch that out, he can't be a four. Twitter and games be showing it all. Yeah. Yeah, bro, man, Twitter be going crazy, man. The Twitter world is just insane. Some of the shit that I see on Twitter is wild, man. Y'all follow me on Twitter if y'all have a Twitter. Make sure you follow me on there because I'll be posting pretty much daily, especially during the games. I got the link in the description. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter. Time two, the arena gonna be packed and everybody talking about us. Yeah, arena. We sell tickets, man. It just sometimes when we're losing, it's just I don't know. It's tough. Dre's my favorite Hawk. Yeah, Dre is probably my second favorite Hawk. Trey and Dre are both my two favorite Hawks. With JC being third and then DeJounte fourth. Um, I love Dre. Like I said, man, I will always praise Dre no matter what. He has his bad games like everybody does, but we got some of the fakest fans. Yeah, we do, man. We do. And I appreciate all the loyal fans. It's everybody who's been riding with me since I've started my channel. And since I started doing more Hawks content, I definitely appreciate all the loyal Hawks fans that have kind of stayed with me and been rolling with me, watching every recap, no matter how bad Atlanta's doing. Tuning into my streams and everything like that. Y'all know how much I appreciate it, and I appreciate all Hawks fans out there. Hopefully, man, 1,000 is right around the corner, man. We are right around the corner for that 1,000 subs, and I'm trying to continue to build and get more Hawks fans to come to my come to my channel, and more NBA fans as well. So we'll see. That was kind of random, but I want to throw it out there. Uh, Samuel said Dre is inconsistent. Um, he's not as inconsistent as people think, man. He gets the label of inconsistent, but he was like he was scoring 10 or more points a game for like 30 straight games. Like Dre is more consistent than people think. No, it's not in terms of like 20-point games, but in terms of like I don't know, man. Like Dre is more consistent than people think. And again, I'm not a box score watcher. And Dre, just because he's not an elite offensive player, like Dre does so much more on for the team than just in offense. So like, for example, if Dre has an 8-point game, uh, if Dre has an 8-point game, like, but he's doing his job on defense, like that's not a bad game to me because his main job is to play defense and guard the best players. So like a lot of people box score watch. I don't do that. Like, yeah, if he has 8 points and he shot like 4 for 15, okay, he had a bad shooting night. But there's a difference between having a bad shooting night and having a bad game. It's two completely different things. And I think that's where a lot of people misconstrue where Dre is inconsistent. He may be inconsistent as a 3-point shooter, but that's about it, man. Like his mid range is absolutely lethal. He's one of the best mid range shooters in basketball. I mean, it's I don't know. That's just how I view it. See, the Hawks were in the same position last year, and we struggled to just make the playoffs. I think this is the reason Landry Fields took over the gym because we seen this move. Philip, I think it's part of it is because Travis Schlenk wanted to make trades, and the front office wouldn't let him. And I think that was why he just said, "Fuck it, and let me step down." Now we are pretty much in the same position as last year, and when you think about that, it's kind of crazy because you add an All Star and yet we're still a 9 seed. Something's not right. So it's not just Trey. It's more than just Trey. That's why people blaming Trey. I'm not just blaming Trey. I think it's Nate McMillan. I think once Nate goes, then this team's gonna flourish. But we'll see. We got shafted in the Cam trade. Yeah, I think Cam. I mean, he wasn't really worth that much because of he didn't have a really enough chance to to kind of showcase his talent and everything. I think he didn't get enough minutes, but it is what it is. We got a first round pick in return, and I think we used that first round pick in the Dejounte trade, so I guess it did kind of work out in the end. So I can't be too mad at that. I missed a couple comments here. Last year we were like 17 and 25. Um, yeah, it was something like that. We were almost 10 games. I think we were as much as 8 games under 500. So hopefully we never get to that point. We're only 2 games under 500 right now, but even still, man, only 2 games under 500 is bad because when you look at this team the way they're built, there's no reason why we should be 2 games under 500. Like we should still be winning ball games, even with injuries and all that. So I don't know. I don't want to overreact to this team. This team is still young. Um, I don't think it's an overreaction, man. I think like we're bad. It's that simple as that we're playing bad basketball. It's not an overreaction. It's just to what it is. Like something needs to change because you can't consistently play close games and blow big leads and all that shit and get away with it and then expect to win in the playoffs. So I don't think it's an overreaction. I'm forever ATL. Hope we can get some beef up in the front court 4 or 5. I got Trey and Dre in my Film One Fan League, so it's good to I feel that, man. Yeah, I think if they beef up the 5 position, I think we'll be in good shape. But we need a true dominant shot blocking and rebounding center. Clint's solid, but he is undersized and he gets killed by bigger centers. We've seen that against Joker. We've seen it against Embiid, even against Mitchell Robinson. I don't know what happened against the Heat. What happened against the Heat was they completely clamped Trey. They had a defensive system in place to take Trey out of the game. That's what they did. They made other guys step up, and guys couldn't do it. John Collins was hurt almost that entire series. Clint Capella was hurt, and when you have 2 of your starters out, I mean, Dre was the best player in that series. People forget. Samuel, Samuel, are you crazy? Inconsistent. Yeah, I don't think Dre's as inconsistent as people think, man. I've already alluded to that. Last playoffs. I'm not crazy. He's inconsistent. I see so much potential in him. Yeah, he's got hell potential, Samuel, but I just don't think he's as inconsistent as you think he is. That's just my opinion. Agree to disagree. He forced the ball out of Trey's hands last season. That's what. Yeah, exactly. Dude, you're 100% right. Like I just said, man. Like they forced other guys to beat them and just completely eliminate Trey. They trapped him. They played a zone, not really a zone defense, but almost like a box and one defense to where all the attention was on Trey. For guys like Herder and JC and other Bogey to step up, and they didn't. I mean, John Collins only averaged like 9 points that playoff run. Now, granted, he was coming off that injury, but Dre averaged 20 points that playoff run. He was the only guy that played well that entire series. Went from the Eastern Conference to a first round exit. Are we overreacting? No, I don't. Again, I don't think we're overreacting because that's why we're not overreacting. Going from the Eastern Conference Finals to a first round playoff exit, that's bad. There's no other way to put it. I mean, I don't know how else how that cannot be an overreaction. Or you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? He was shooting it bad and turning the ball over. Yeah, he was shooting dog shit, bro, because they kept the only thing that he was able to get in that series was deep threes. And you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win like that. It's not a good shot. It's not a high percentage shot. But Trey doesn't really take high percentage shots because you shoot from 90. So yeah, they definitely embarrassed us, Khalil. I'll say that. Let's see. He was switching everything on defense, so the pick and roll didn't work. Plus, they have a playmaker. Yeah, I agree. Do you? I mean, you pretty much hit it right on the head, man. I mean, I can't even elaborate even more on that because they switched everything on defense. They played pretty much that box and one and forced every guys to step up, and they didn't. It's just that simple. I understand the injuries play an important role, but eventually the fans are going to be losing patience, and injuries this time isn't going to cut it. The injuries isn't what's making his team lose games. I mean, there's enough talent on his team, for us to be able to win ball games. Yeah, like we've had guys in that lineup, but it's not enough to be losing this many games, in my opinion. 12 plus 10 plus point games this season. If we don't blow them, we're 27-9. That is insane. I didn't even know that was the actual stat, but I'm not surprised because it seems like every single game we're blowing a double digit lead. I mean, we were up 15 against the Lakers and blew it. It seems like that's the anomaly. Not even, no, it's not an anomaly. It seems like that's the literally the story of the season is just blown leads. I don't know. If we're healthy, it goes 7, maybe. I don't know. That's tough to say. Still building or win now mode. Jacoby, I think we're still 1 or 2 pieces away from being a contender. Well, obviously we're no, we're not a contender. What the hell am I even talking about? We're not even near contention. We're 2 games under 500. You can't be two games under 500 and be contender. It's just that simple. So like we're still multiple things away from being able to be a contender, and I think it starts with the coach.
I'm on the Portland and Golden State bandwagon because Steph and Dame are my two favorite players.
Dame's one of my favorite players as well, Jacoby. Dame's always been one of my favorite players, but Giannis is actually my favorite player. I've said that multiple times. Um, Giannis is my favorite player. With Dame's probably my top five though.
Bro, if we played Miami in the playoffs, do you think we could beat them?
I don't know, Khalil. That's tough to say, man, because Miami struggled this year, but we've struggled this year as well. Um, I don't know. I think honestly, I think I still pick Miami because they have the grit, like they have the grit and they have the coaching. Nate or Eric Spoelstra is one of the best coaches in basketball, and he makes adjustments. Nate McMillan does not do that, and I think as long as we have Nate McMillan, we're going to be a first round exit team. That's just my opinion.
Gray stepped up in the playoffs last year, but sometimes he wasn't assertive enough until we were desperate he came.
I think the reason why he wasn't assertive enough is because they don't let him be. When you have Trey taking 20 plus shots, that's the reason why guys don't get involved as much in the offense because you have Dre or not, I'm sorry, not Dre, Trey and DeJounte both shooting 20 times a game. That's 40 shots between your two point guards. There's not many shots left for other guys. So I think that's why we don't see guys being assertive like Dre and getting enough shots to where he could, where he could be that, in that third, that bona fide second, third option. I don't know.
The problem with the Hawks organization is that they don't want to spend any money.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's why they traded Kevin Herter because they didn't want to go to the luxury tax. Wrestler Tony is it Tony Wrestler? Cheap ass owner. He doesn't want to go into luxury tax. He doesn't want to spend the money. So it is what it is.
Did people blow y'all phone up after we lost to the Heat last year? Anyone? I know I'm not the only one.
Not me, man. Because honestly, uh, other than my one homeboy who's a big basketball fan, but not a lot of my friends are basketball fans. So like it really my phone didn't really get blown up, about it. But I seen it all over Twitter and everything. So there's that.
I've noticed a lot of teams guarding Trey like the Heat did.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Trey's starting to get I wouldn't call it exposed, but if he doesn't change his play style, then Trey's gonna be. We're gonna see that like what we see now out of Trey is what Trey's gonna be. I mean, he'll never reach that like that superstar like player that we know he can be because he stands around on offense whenever he doesn't have the ball. Watch games like y'all gotta watch closely. I know y'all probably do, but y'all gotta watch Trey specifically when Dejounte has the ball. Trey just stands there. He stands there about 30 feet from the basket, and it's like he doesn't move, like that's not gonna get it done. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro?
What do you think is the perfect coach for this team?
I think Ime Udoka would be the perfect coach for this team. I like what he did with Boston last year. With turning that team around, so I think he'd be a perfect fit. Um, I've touched on that in the past, and I know a lot of other people in the stream have as well. I just don't know how realistic that is. Dang man, it's already about to be 9 o'clock already. We've already been streaming for an hour. Golly, I'll tell you what, man. We'll go another about 15 minutes. We'll go another 15 minutes or so. I still got to get a handful of comments to get caught up on here, and I know y'all keep firing them in. So we'll give it about another 15 minutes. We'll go to about 9:15. We'll stream to about 9:15, and then we'll call it quits there. And then I'll do another stream for next pregame. I think we play. Is it Wednesday? We play. I think we got Sacramento on Wednesday. I can't remember who we got on Wednesday. Either way, I'll do another stream for that game on Wednesday.
I thought Trey and JC were our future.
Yeah, Trey and JC could be our future if they utilize JC right. I mean, they don't utilize them. They don't use them right. So I mean, he gets like 6 to 8 shots a game. I don't understand that.
I was talking crazy the whole season. That's why everyone.
Yeah, Khalil, you be wilding sometimes, bro. Because you be saying like we're going to the finals and everything, and you be out of pocket sometimes, bro. I'm a realist at the end of the day, man. Like I think we have potential, but I'm a realist at the end of the day, and we're bad right now. So
Trey need to learn from Steph and train the whole summer with him.
the crazy thing is he trained with him this summer, but I don't know, man. Again, Trey doesn't move enough off ball. he consistently stands there whenever somebody else has the ball, and it's like he just looks disinterested. He looks disinterested whenever he doesn't have the ball. Like, oh well, if I don't have the ball, okay, I'm just gonna stand here. La 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 la. Okay, here I'm open. That's what Trey does. Like he doesn't move. Like if you notice with the Warriors, Curry never stops moving. This dude is constantly on the move with back screens, with down screens and everything like that. He never stops moving. Now that may be because of the offensive system, and I think that is part of it because Nate McMillan doesn't put an offensive system in place to fit Trey, and I think that's the issue. And I don't know how many times I can say that, but you know how I feel about it by now.
Not just one day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel that. Okay. Yeah. You said not just one day. I feel that. Pay close attention to the lack of off-ball movement from the Hawks tonight's game.
Yeah, Dewey, I agree. It's the off ball movement. There is none. The only guys that really move off ball is AJ Griffin and Bogey. That's it. Nobody else moves off ball. It's so frustrating when you see guys just stand around and just isolate. God, I can't stand that shit, man. I really fucking can't.
Would it be the nice for the Hawks and get Carl Anthony Towns from the T-Wolves?
Yeah, it would be, but it's like, what do you give up? I mean, unless you're giving up Trey, it's probably not realistic. I mean, they're not going to trade. They're not going to trade like Carl Anthony Towns for fucking John Collins. I mean, that wouldn't work. I would love it, but I don't think that's realistic.
Meanwhile, Golden State is going to be moving constantly without the ball.
Yeah, of course they're going to. I mean, even when they have guys who aren't crazy shooters, what's Jordan Poole? Jordan Poole's going to be on the move tonight, all through the night.
Do you remember Jeff Teague? He played for Let.
Yeah, Jeff Teague was my dude, bro. Jeff Teague is one of my favorite Hawks of all time. I actually I had his jersey. I don't know what the hell happened to it. I think I lost it or sold it. It got sold in a garage sale somehow. It got my mom sold years ago. My mom sold a bag of jerseys that I had in a garage sale, and my Jeff Teague jersey was in the bag somehow, some way. And it was only a swingman. It wasn't an authentic one. It was only a swingman. But I had a Jeff Teague jersey, man. He was my dude. I love Jeff Teague. Whenever we made that playoff run to the Eastern Conference Finals, man, Jeff Teague was my guy. Man, I love that team that we had.
They're really finna work us so bad with the moving screens.
Yeah, they do set a lot of moving screens, especially Kurtz again. Draymond Green always sets a lot of moving screens. Kevon Looney always sets moving screens. I just don't have a good feeling about tonight, man. But if Dre's playing, like I said, then we got a good shot. But again, man, they're 16-2 at home. 16-2. It's nasty. That's nasty. I don't know.
I'm in the same age group. I'm in the same age group, just like the Hawks. I'm 23 years old.
Jacoby, oh yeah, you're still a little bit younger, my boy. So you didn't get to see. Man, my nose is so itchy. You didn't get to see a lot of the shit that I've seen. I'm a little bit older. I'm a little bit older than some of you guys. I'm not gonna say my age because I'm old. I'm probably older than some of you guys think too. So, 23 feels like a lifetime ago for me, man. But I mean, that's it's a good time to watch hoops, man. I loved watching through my early 20s. And I've watched basketball, man, since I was probably about 9 or 10 years old. So I've been going on a long time.
Should I stay up to watch us lose?
Man, that's only a question you can answer, my guy. Because I don't know. I don't know if I can stay up to watch and lose. Like I said, it depends on how close the game is. If I'm going to stay up for the game tonight because I got to work tomorrow morning, and I don't know if I'm going to stay up super late tonight to watch the game. I was up late as hell fucking playing 2K last night, so I don't know if I could be up late again watching the game. We'll see.
Shouldn't be a third loss when I'm at home.
Khalil, I don't know. I like your optimism, but I don't know if I can buy into that. I'm not sure if I'm buying what you're selling, my guy.
This just hit me. If Nate does resign or leave the Hawks, the person I want to see is Nick Van Exel or maybe do something with this team.
Yeah, Nick Van Exel, because he was a point guard. Maybe he can. Well, so was Nate McMillan, so I don't know. But Nate McMillan was a defensive point guard, and he brings defense. Uh, he's supposed to be a defense coach, and it just hasn't worked out like that. So, um, Nick Van Exel will be interesting, but I think Joe Prunty would be the guy that takes over. He's just got more experience.
I was in 7th grade when we was the number 1 seed in 2015 and Teague was there.
He was in 7th grade. I was I was 5 years out of high school. I was 5 years removed from high school, in that 2015 run. So,
We're all old.
hey, that makes me feel better. Kingfield, that makes me feel better if we're all old here together. So I don't feel as old, man. I don't feel young anymore. I grew up. You should probably know my age range based off of who I grew up watching. Based off my backdrop and everything, I grew up watching AI and T Mac, Kobe, Duncan, Garnett. I grew up in that era, so that should kind of give you an age, where my age range is. Not Khalil, you're not old. You're not old at all. You're only 21. Yeah, you're a young cat, bro. You're not old. You're not old at all.
In college and Braun was
Yeah, Braun's been going crazy since he got drafted, bro. He's still a fucking beast. I mean, Braun is not human, man. He just I don't even understand how this dude does what he does, man. But um he's one of the greatest, man.
we about to take another L, y'all. So y'all again.
Yeah, man. I might be able to I don't want to say that, but I'm just not confident in them I'm not confident in them being able to get a win tonight. But we'll see.
I feel like we take a page out of the 60-win team and move the ball more. That would open up the court more.
See, the thing about that 60-win team is there was no dominant star. We did not have a star player. We had a bunch of role guys. That 2015 team, this is going to be kind of a crazy comparison, but it's going to be a comparison in terms of the style and not the minus the defense. That 2015 team was very similar to the 2004 Finals Pistons team because they had a group of collective guys that were all stars. They had 4 all stars that year, but none of them were superstars. I mean, Ben Wallace obviously turned into a Hall of Famer. He was a defensive anchor. We didn't have that, but we just had a bunch of guys that were all-star caliber players that played well together, that moved the ball. We had a great coach in Bud, and that was why that team had success. Now, granted, we ran into LeBron and we got swept, but I loved watching that 2015 team, man. That was a hell of a team.
We're not over seasoned.
I feel that, bro. I feel that.
2015 East Conference Finals was one of the best.
Yeah, that was a great year to be a Hawks fan, man. That was even though we got swept, that was a fun team to watch, man. It really was. With Kyle Korver, Jeff Teague, Paul Millsap, Al Horford. That was a fun team to watch, man. It really was.
So you can tell how old I am. I've been watching the Hawks b-ball since Dominique and
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're a little bit older. You're definitely older than I am. That's for sure. That's for sure, Charles. I wish I was around when Dominique was playing, man. I love Nick, but I was unfortunately only able to watch Nick on highlights. I caught the tail end of the '90s. I was still super young though, so like I don't remember shit in that from that era other than going back and watching it like on NBA TV and watching it on YouTube and everything like that. Oh, almost 50. Okay, so there, yeah. I'm definitely not not there yet, and I'm not, but not wrong with that, man. And I appreciate you being a supporter of me as well. Um, a lot of older folks are not catered to the younger community. So definitely, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way in any means. So don't take that the wrong way. Um, but yeah, definitely. Nick was that guy, and I wish I could have watched more of him live, obviously, but unfortunately, I was not born yet. So
bro. Now that Pac-Man jersey we had in 2015 was different the whole year.
yeah, 2015 was a good year, man. That was a good year for hoops. 2016 was probably the best year for hoops in general, man. When you look at everything collectively in 2016 with the way everything happened, not obviously it's not for a Hawks fan, but just as a basketball fan, 2016 was just prime time, man. That was great.
You want to see someone like Jermaine Dupri get ownership of the Hawks?
No, I don't I don't like I don't think Jermaine Dupri would be able to run a team. He's a music guy. No disrespect to Jermaine Dupri, but Trey an all-star or a superstar. I think he's a fringe superstar. I don't think he's quite reached superstardom. I think to be well, I don't know, man. That's tough to say. I think 2000 in 2021 when we made the Eastern Conference Finals, Trey was a superstar. So I think he is still a superstar. He just hasn't played like a superstar. I'm gonna put it that way. 2016 was good as hell. Yeah, they were good too. They were good too. They just weren't as good, obviously. Then we got swept again by LeBron in the second round. Yeah, bro. LeBron was our kryptonite. LeBron was just man. He was. We were never able to beat LeBron. It is what it is. Oh fuck. Yo, Hezzo, did you like 2K15 and 16? 2K15 and 16. Yeah, yeah. I mean, bro, I've played and owned every 2K since 2K3. 2K3 or 2K4. I can't remember. It was one of those two. Whenever I know it was Iverson was on the cover. But I played every single 2K up until now, and I played in I've don't remember all of them, but 2K from what I remember, 2K16 is still one of the best 2Ks ever made. If I remember correctly.
My favorite player is Steph has 4 rings. If Trey want to bring that, I want to see Dame.
Yeah, I want to see Dame win a ring too. But I just don't know if he ever will because he plays for Portland, and I just don't know if he'll ever be ever won. I don't think he'll ever win out of Portland. Hmm, talking about cat.
And now my other cat's crying at the door. Jeez, oh man, these cats be driving me crazy. Or somebody who don't mind paying the luxury tax.
Yeah, I agree with that. They definitely, if you want to win, if you want to build a winning team, you got to be willing. If you got to be willing to go into the luxury tax. Uh, so that's you definitely got to be willing to do that, or else you can't build a winning formula unless it's like I don't know. Even the Warriors were in the luxury tax, so I can't even say them. How could this season be saved? By getting a new coach. That's how you save this season is by getting a new coach. 16 the best in me. Yeah, I think 16 was the best year for sure in terms of basketball. Unless you're talking about 2K. Either one, it could be both.
I was young and watching the duel between Neek and Bird in '88, the dunk contest.
Yeah, man. I wish again I wasn't alive in that era. Unfortunately, so but someday, someday, well, not someday, but I've seen all the highlights and everything on YouTube and all that. But so we got about 3 minutes left, man. And then I'm gonna call it again. Call it at 9:15. We're only down to 3 people left in the stream, so I'm gonna answer these last couple questions, man. And then we are gonna get out of here. 2K and Bebo wise, yeah, 2K, yeah, 16 probably was the best for both of those in terms of 2K and what's it called basketball wise. The 2016 season, man, was just so memorable.
I respect the Luca and Trey draft trade. People think it was a mistake.
Um, I'm a believer that it was a mistake. Listen, man, I love Trey, I really do, but when you get a generational type talent like Luca and you pass up on him or you trade him, that's crazy to me, man. That's unfortunately. What teams you use in quick game on 2K? Khalil, I only run with the Hawks, bro. In terms of like playing somebody, I only use the Hawks. Um, like, well, I won't say that. Uh, if I do a quick game, like if I'm running one of my homeboys or something, we'll do like three randoms. You know what I'm saying? Then you pick the best of the three. Um, but I usually stick with the Hawks.
Let's see. Was gonna say the same thing about the luxury tax situation, but also a new coach will help.
Yeah, I think in terms of the coach, and in terms of, until we get a new coach, I think the tension ain't gonna go. It ain't gonna go in a way.
What happened to the Hawks court logo?
What do you mean the Hawks court logo? What does that mean? I don't know. Talk about the on court logo. I don't know.
You actually good or trash at 2K?
Bro, I'll fry you in 2K, Khalil. I'm sorry, I'll fry you. I was a 2K master, a 2K master when I used to play online. Um, when I used to play online, um, I will say now, Khalil, I haven't played consistently online in terms of uh like in ranked matches in a long time. But the last time I did, I was 74-9 online. But that was a long time ago. I just play like my homeboys and stuff online now, but like we don't keep track of the records or anything like that. So Xbox and PlayStation. I'm an Xbox guy, man. Always. I will always be an Xbox guy. I used to be a PlayStation guy back in the day, um, but that was a long time ago. I'm Xbox. Overall grade for Jalen Johnson this season, I give him a C. I give him a C. C or C plus. I like some things that I've seen, but he's got a lot of room to grow, and there's been a lot of bad moments for him as well. So that's pretty much it for the comments, man. So I got caught up on everything. So I am gonna leave it there, y'all. It is 9:15. I'm gonna go try and watch a little bit of hoops. I got a game. What game is going on behind me? Still Philly and the Pelicans right now. So I'm gonna probably finish watching that game. I'm gonna tune into some other games before the game comes on at 10. I'll probably watch maybe the first half, maybe the whole game. I don't know. So appreciate all y'all tuning in, man. Again, drop a like on the stream if y'all have not already. Tune into the next stream, probably Wednesday night. It'll probably be around the same time, around 8 o'clock. I think it's like a 10:30 tip off time. So I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will see y'all next stream. Hopefully, this whole week I'm gonna be streaming. So y'all keep a lookout for that, man. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one.